Hey everyone, welcome to your first lesson at Crescendo Music Academy. Today we're going to go over finger numbers and how to identify the different notes on the piano. So let's get started. So I got my little whiteboard here. So the first thing I want to go over is your finger numbers. So finger numbers are used for all different ages, mostly for my young kids because this is how they first start learning with their fingers and identifying which one belongs on the keyboard. So these are important and it's still used in music like this behind as we go forward and learn to be pros at the piano. So the finger numbers are for both hands. It's mirrored. So the thumb is always going to be number 1. The pointer finger is always going to be number 2. The middle finger is always going to be number 3. Ring finger is always going to be number 4. And the pinky is always going to be number 5. And it's the same thing on the left hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how we identify, for instance, like when you're playing songs like this, it'll help you to arrange your fingers in a way where it feels better to play, and it'll also help you at first when you're playing the piano. So those are your finger numbers. Remember those for later. The next thing I want to go over is how to identify notes on the piano. So this is all basically a pattern. So you have these black keys and you have white keys. You have black keys and white keys. Black keys, white keys. So I like to break it up very simply so that people can remember where is what, because it repeats itself over and over. It's a very simple pattern and it's easy to remember using a little simple drawing on my whiteboard again. So as you can tell on the piano as well as my whiteboard, you have 2 black keys and 3 black keys in a row. And then there's this little space in between them. So if you can remember that there's 2 black keys in a row and then 3 black keys in a row, this is where we're going to start to identify the patterns. So the 2 black keys, right, they're right here, and they're also here and here, and they go up and up as you play the piano, up and down. So for the 2 black keys, what I like to do is I usually like to draw a little box. So this box kind of helps make it look like it's isolated. So in this box you have basically 3 white notes. So these 3 white notes are going to be our first 3 notes that are going to be super easy to remember, but also one of them is super important. So in this little box where the 2 black keys are, in the middle here is the letter D. So D is in the middle. D in the middle. Then to its right is E. And to its left is C. So you have C, D, E. So the piano also goes in a alphabetical order, A to G. So you have these 3, C, D, E, in the middle, where these 2 black notes are. But the notes of the piano are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then it repeats back to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So to remember that, let me go ahead and erase this. So the alphabet of the piano is A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So this is also super important. It just repeats itself over and over and over again. Okay, back to this. So here we have C, D, and E. D's in the middle, E's to the right, C's right here. So if you can see the little pattern here, so there's the 2 black keys, and then right to the left of that is C, right of that is E, D in the middle. Super easy to remember. One important key though is the C. The middle C though. So on your keyboard, if you go back to your keyboard, there's the most middle C of your keyboard, and this C is so important to remember. So how I remembered is I would try to find something on my piano. If you don't have those little sticky little alphabet thingies on your piano, try to find something. You go to the most middle of your keyboard, you find the C that's right in the middle, and I find whatever is above it. So this little glowy blue thing is right in the middle, and right below that is my C. So that's how I learned. If you have those little letter sticky notes, feel free to put the letter C on to help, but find whatever's above that, and that is your middle C. So middle C, just remember the C is important. So this is the little box. So that is where we'll stop there, and we're going to move towards the next pattern here. Okay, so the next pattern is these 3 black keys here. And you go up and you find more 3s in a row, and down and more 3s in a row. So they're everywhere. So this is another pattern. The 2 black keys, that's what we learned before in a row. And then next is these 3 black keys. So these are pretty fun to remember. So I'm going to draw a little house. So here's my little house over these 3 black notes here. Little house. It's got its little roof here and the sides of the house. So how I have people remember this is super simple. So in a house, you have a front door, right? So the front door is going to be at the very front, the very beginning. So front door, you got an F. Every house also has a back door, and the back door is in the back. So it's going to be right here, B, F and B, front door, back door. And in the middle, which is very easy to come by because you can just go backwards and forwards in the alphabet. So after F is G. After G, it goes back to A, or before B. So what was before B is A, and after G it goes back to the A, like our alphabet here. So after G, it just starts right back at the beginning. So this is my little house for the 3 black notes, just to remember. The front of the 3 black notes, to the very left of it is F, the front door. To the very right of the 3 black notes is B, the back door. And in between you got G and A. So that's how you remember the simple pattern of the piano. So to go back over what we learned today, we learned our finger numbers, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1s are always on the thumbs, and the 5s are always on the pinkies, so they're mirrored. Then we learned the musical alphabet, which is A to G, and then it repeats itself to A again. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. We also learned the patterns of how to find the different keys on the piano. So we have 2 black keys in a row and 3 black keys in a row. And this helps you identify where the notes are on the piano. So your C, D, and E are right under these 2 black notes. D's in the middle, C's on the left, E's on the right. Middle C, that's super important to find, and you'll find out later why. So you find the most middle part of your piano, and the C that's right in the middle is the one you want to remember, middle C. You can remember by finding something above it and remembering that little spot to find middle C. So C, D, E. Then we have the 3 black notes up here. And right here we had built a little house. In the beginning of our house we have a front door, which is F. We have a back door, which is B. And the 2 in the middle are G and A. So all together we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And that's your first lesson for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Be back for lesson 2.